I do not encourage or condone the use of tobacco or cannabis products, and if you're under the age of 18, you can go ahead and get out of here right now.
Alrighty, so today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how cigarette filters actually don't make cigarettes any safer than you would think they would be, kind of thing. So, cigarette filters were originally created in around about like 1930, kind of thing. They were originally used to stop people from getting little bits of tobacco in their mouth from unfiltered cigarettes. So that's what their original purpose was. But in the 1950s, when more brands started adopting them, because the cigarette companies needed a scapegoat. They needed a way to say, hey, look, we're making cigarettes safer, we're working to it. Because people were on the rise, people were saying, oh man, cigarettes aren't very safe anymore. So people were on the rise. Anti-smoking propaganda was starting to come up a lot, kind of thing. So they needed something. They needed to do something, and their decision was using filters. And so they started using filters not only to filter the large particles of tobacco that you would get in your mouth, but also just as an excuse to say that they were more healthy, kind of thing. When in fact, cigarette filters are not actually healthy at all. Multiple studies have been shown comparing unfiltered cigarettes to filtered cigarettes and showing that it's really not actually any more healthy, kind of thing. It's not any more healthy at all, actually. While yes, the large particles might not come through, but you're still getting the small particles, which still cause lung cancer. And so before, with unfiltered cigarettes, the most common type of lung cancer was large particle lung cancer. But then after they introduced cigarette filters, it was small particle lung cancer, but it was still the same rate of lung cancer. It's not like that changed or anything. So the same rate of lung cancer still happened. It was just a different type of lung cancer, which I find to be very interesting. And it really was just a scapegoat to make it look like they were doing something when they weren't. And that comes to say that cigarette filters, they're not really made out of anything. They can be made out of paper, plastic, cellulose acetate, or activated charcoal. And none of those filters really do much, kind of thing. They're not really any actual sort of good filters, kind of thing. They don't really actually filter much out. And believe it or not, the browning of the filter is actually caused by chemicals to make it look like it's being used more than it actually is. Now, I don't know if that's the same for all brands, but that's what I've read, kind of thing. Well, the browning of it is actually caused by chemicals to make it look like it's doing more than it is. So it would still be a little bit brown, but it's not nearly as, it would be a lot less brown. So they made it so it looks like it's doing a lot more than it is. So it's all really one big publicity stunt to make it look like cigarettes are a lot safer than they are when they're not, which is kind of a scary thing, and it's kind of a scummy thing of the cigarette industry to do. But that's the 1950s/60s for you, because that's really when cigarette filters started taking off. I just find it so interesting, though, that cigarette companies haven't really actually seen any kickback from this, haven't really seen any issues from marketing filtered cigarettes as a safer alternative to unfiltered cigarettes, which I find extremely amusing, even though unfiltered cigarettes aren't even any less safe than filtered cigarettes, kind of thing. So I think it's amusing they haven't seen any kickback or any sort of legal repercussions from this sort of stuff. Because I'm like, you see American Spirit. American Spirit got in a whole lawsuit in the early 2000s for marketing their stuff as being, hey, look, organic, natural American Spirit tobacco. So people thought that they were safer. I'm surprised the same thing didn't happen with filters, kind of thing. Can't really complain too much though. I'm still really enjoying cigarettes, but I hope this video has been very informative for y'all. That's pretty much all I had to say, pretty much. Cigarette filters do not make cigarettes any more healthy, and I find it very, very amusing that they are marketed as such, or they were at least. They're not really marketed that way anymore because they're the norm now. But I find it very amusing that they were marketed in that way, and it's kind of scary that they were marketed actually in that way, because it really is not a good thing. It really isn't a good thing for them to say that it's safer when it isn't, kind of thing, because it makes a lot of people believe that it's a lot safer than it is when it's not at all safe, kind of thing. So it is definitely a scary thing, and I'm very surprised that no cigarette companies have seen any legal repercussion for that. But I think it's really a very interesting thing. And yeah, so cigarette filters, they don't cut down on, well, as said, the Surgeon General warnings on this pack says, I don't know if you guys can read it, but it just says cigarettes contain carbon monoxide. Yeah, the filter doesn't cut down on carbon monoxide at all. The same rates of carbon monoxide come through on both unfiltered and filtered cigarettes. It's not like it actually filters out any of the small particles that actually really hurt you. It's just the large particles. So it's kind of a really scary thing if you ask me. I gotta be completely frank though, even though I'm talking about cigarette filters not being safe at all, I am really still enjoying this ciggy, and it is still absolutely fantastic. I gotta be completely frank with y'all. I do enjoy my cigarettes, I do enjoy my tobacco, so yeah, cannot complain in the least. But yeah, let me know what your guys' opinion is on this subject. I think it's a very interesting subject to talk about, and I think it's something that needs to be talked about a lot more, kind of thing. And I really do think it's a very interesting thing to talk about, as said. Um, but yeah, cannot complain in the least. You know what I'm saying? It is an absolutely beautiful day out here. Really cannot complain. It's like 80 degrees. It's so nice out here. It's absolutely damn beautiful. I gotta be completely frank with y'all. That's what I'm saying at least. But yeah, look at that. Look how brown that is, kind of thing. Yeah, cigarette filters, they don't be doing nothing. They don't be doing nothing to make you any safer. That's all chemical right there. That's all chemicals making it look brown. It's scary. It's scary, isn't it? You know, the more I delve into cigarettes, the more I enjoy cigarettes, kind of thing, the more I actually kind of want to quit, but that's another topic for another video. But I think I'm going to take one more hit, and then that's going to be it, you know what I'm saying? Man, man, man. One more hit, one more hit. That's what every cigarette smoker says. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram and my book in the description down below. Highly recommend you guys check both those out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Until the next one, stay safe and peace. Have a great one out there, and stay safe, yo.